So we can break apart the hit me if I seem a little unimpressed with this. An antisocial pessimist, but usually I don't mess with this, and I know.
Hello friends, welcome back to data preparation challenge series in Power BI. So let's explore what's our second challenge is. So I'll be having some Excel file here. You can also download this file from the description below. So here I'll be having easy challenge sheet and advanced challenge sheet. So let's see what's our easy challenge is. So here I'll be having some tables. So we have these two tables, this and this. And here we have region and values, and we have old and new. So we have region north, east, south, and west, and we have some values here. And we need to replace this region with the new, that is east, west, and south and north. So we need to replace this region with this new regions. So let's see how we can do this using Power BI. So I'll go to my Power BI. Let's input my data sheet here. So I'll be having this bulk replace file. I'll click on open, and from here I'll select my sheet, this table, easy table, and the lookup table, and I'll click on transform data. So here we need to merge these two tables using the related column, that is here we have regions and here we have old. We need to group that using we need to merge these two columns using this related column old and regions. So what I'll do, I'll go to the home section and click on merge queries, and under that we have merge queries options and merge queries as a new. I'll click on merge queries as a new, and you can see here we have this lookup table, this, and I'll select this column from here, and I'll select my second table, that is my easy table, and from here I'll select the regions and I'll click on OK. Now you can see we have some easy and the tables. We need to expand this. I'll click on expand, and here I'll untake this use original column names as a prefix. So what it does, it will provide easy dot this regions and easy dot value as a new columns. So I don't want that, so I'll click on OK. I can see we got this news, so new, and this new regions and the values, and I'll just delete this old and regions. I'll select these two and I'll delete this. You can see we have new and the value. Let's say this is my. Let's rename this this merge one to let's say data cleaned, data data cleaned cleaned TBL. So this is my data cleaned TBL, and I'll rename this column to column name to regions. So we have region and values, and I'll click on close and apply. So this is how we can do perform this data replacement task in Power BI. So this is the solution for the easy task. Now let's explore the second task also. So let's first visualize what we done here. So I'll select my table here, and from here I'll select my this data blend and select region and values, and let's increase the values here. Let's say this is 22, and let's increase the column headers. Let's say it's also 22 and make it blue. So you can see we have north, east, west. So the new region and the sum of values of that. Now let's see what's our second task is. So here you can see here we have GOT characters descriptions. This is one table, and another table we have abbreviations and names column. And you can see here we have E.S, the Lord of Winterfell, and the new hand of the king. So we have E.S abbreviations, and here we need to replace this E.S with the Edward Stark here, the name, and for let's say example the J.S. So we need to replace this with Jon Snow, Ned Stark bastard son. So let's see how we can do replacement task in Power BI. So we if we use the split functions here, you can see here this abbreviation, it is in starting of the rows also, and it is for some rows here. So here you can see this is in the middle, and for some rows it is at the end of the text. Here you can see. So we can't use spread function to generate this. So let's see how we can do this in Power BI. I'll go to this Power BI again, and I'll go to this transform data, and from here let's import a file. I'll go to new source and I'll click on Excel workbook, and again I'll select my work replace file and click on open. And from here let's select my characters and this translations table, and I'll click on OK. So first of all, just rename this table. So this is should be characters. So misspelled here. So we need to replace this. So what I'll do, I'll create a custom M code function that will replace this abbreviations with the name. So what I'll do, I'll click on new source and I'll click on new blank query, and from here I'll click on advanced editor, and from here I'll provide an input. Let's write our M code here. So I'll say equal bracket, and here I'll say this is my input. So you can name this as whatever if you want. So I'll say just input, get the input as a text here, and I'll say this is as a text, the whole as a text. This is a syntax to define the input in M code. And here I'll create some variables. I'll define some variables here. So I'll say let to define some variables in M code we use let function, let keyword, sorry. So I'll say let max of iterations that is equals to, and here what I'm doing is here I'll be selecting this table and I'll be counting all the rows of this table. So let's see how we can do this. So this is a table, so that's why I'll be using table function. So I'll be say table dot count rows, or sorry, that is row count. It should be one table only. Table dot row count here, and count the rows of the translations table. Translations, yeah, translation table. And then what I'll do, I'll create a list of values. So I'll be creating a iterator function. So I'll say iterate iteration, sorry, iterations that is equals to, and here I'll create a list of values. So I'll say list dot generate here, list dot generate. So it will generate some values, list of values, and this is the syntax to generate the list of values here. So you can see the definition also. It says generates a list of values. Then based on the result that is equals to, and here what I'll do, I'll use text dot replace function. Text dot replace, replace what? Get the current row, sorry, get the input, and for each input, so this is my input, this is my input. For each input, so this row is an input, it will check this is equal to this abbreviation or not. So this yes is equal to this, then replace the name. So let's see how we can do this. So I'll be saying for each input, for the input, then I'll say translations. There should be here translation, yeah, translation of abbreviation. So the spelling is ABBREVATION, abbreviation for the current row. So why I'm using 0, so it will be the starting row. That's why I'll use 0 here. Then what to do? Then replace with this with the The same, the translations again, translation, translation. Replace this translation with the what, the name, and for the current row 0, starting row 0. So it is showing some errors here. That should be correct here. So text dot replace, get the input for the translations of abbreviations, and for the current row, yeah, here we didn't need to close this bracket here. Yeah, that's why I got some errors here. Then we need to close here, right? Then what I'll do, I'll define my counter here. So I'll be saying counter equal to 0. So I'll be initializing the counter, sorry, and I'll go to new line here, and here what I'll do, I'll create iterations. I'll be creating some condition here. I'll say for each counter, for the each counter that is less than the max of iterations, this max of iterations. So counter is 0 for each 0. So 0 is less than max of iterations. Then what to do? Then go to new line. Then for each result, what, replace the values here. So I'll be saying for each result, replace what, text dot replace again function, text dot replace what, replace the result here, result, yeah, with the translations of abbreviations again. So this is for the second row here, abbreviation, abbreviation, yeah, correct. Then I'll be saying counter. For here the counter is 0, so it means it should be yeah, it is in a, it is for the current row, that is the first row also. Let's copy this here, let's paste it here. For the, then it should be name here, and I'll close here. Then what I'll do, I'll update my counter here. So I'll be saying counter equal to counter plus 1. So update my counter for the each result. Yeah. Then what I'll do, I'll use, I'll get the output. So output equal to iterations for the max of iterations minus 1. So what it does, it will provide the result for all the replacement as input, get the output. Now let's click on done here. So what I'll do, I'll just copy this and I'll explain to you what it is. Go to notepad. So what it is, so here we defined our input as a text. So we got our input as a text. Then we use the let function, let keyword, to create a variables here. So the max iterations. Then we got the count of all the rows. So we got the number of rows from this table, translation table. Then what we done, we use the list dot generate function to create some list of values here. So here the list of values that should be here, you can see here we use result, and this result will, it will store the replacement. So this is for the first row. So here we say if this input, if this input is equal to so this e dot s, it is in this, then we replace the name here. Yeah. Then we use the counter equal to 0. We initialize our counter to 0. Then we say if this 0 is less than max of iteration, then for each result replace again replace the result. So result means this again, and again this is for the current row here. Now after this counter is updated, so it will be moved to the second row, next row, this. So again it will do the replacement task here. Then we use the output equal to iterations max iteration, so it will return the output here for us in dot out. So this is the M code to generate the replacement of text abbreviations. So I'll go here and I'll click on done here. I can see we got our function. Now let's rename our function here. This is, let's say, data cleaned function func. Now what I'll do, so you can see we got data. Yeah, so this is for the first task. I'll go to these characters here. Now I'll select my column. So this is already selected, and I'll go to this add column option and I'll click on invoke a custom function here. And this is my, let's say, cleaned clean description clean description. And from here I'll select my custom function, and I'll click on OK. Now I can see we got some errors here. Let's see what's the error here. Let's go here and I'll go to this advanced editor again. Maybe I misspelled the abbreviation spelling here. Let's go here, translations, and let's copy the spelling here. Sorry for that. And let's replace this abbreviations. Yeah, I misspelled here, that's why we got some errors. And I'll click on done. Now I'll click on characters here. Now you can see we got the output here. So the abbreviation e.s, that should be replaced with the added stock here, and for the C on CT, that is settling Tuffy, is got replaced. So this is how we do the replacement task. Now what I'll do, I'll visualize our data. I'll click on home and I'll close and apply here. Now let's visualize our data. So what I'll do, I'll create a table here. So this is my characters cleaned data. So this is my clean data. So let's see the original data also, the previous one. So let's create another table, that is the god characters. Now let's increase the value. So what I'll do, I'll copy the format of this and paste it here. Let's decrease the values. Let's say 15. Yeah, maybe you're right. Let's decrease the values also. Yeah, you can see here. Now let's see this also. Let's I can see here this was our original case. So here we have abbreviations here, and we have the clean text here. You can see here, this is how we do the data replacement task in Power BI. So that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed in this video. Stay tuned for the next video. Thank you.